One of the unique features of guild islands and personal islands here in Albion Online is the laborer. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the laborers, giving you a beginner introduction to laborers on their journals, how to fill them, how to send them out for jobs, and the type of yield and stuff that they will be bringing back. So if we come here into the guild hall, I'm going to make my mount disappear. I have the laborers separated right here. We have the 4 crafting laborers, 5 gathering laborers right here, as well as the fishermen, and then we have the mercenary, which is considered a battle labor. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is the different types of journals that they have. So any labor that you place down, let's just go to the fisherman labor, they have these 3 tabs. They have the work tab, which is used to drop a journal in there to send them out to work. We have the journal tab, which is used to buy journals from them of their tier. And then we have the management tab, which is access rights that we can control who has access to the laborer, as well as we can pick up, move it, give it up as if we don't want to have access to it anymore, and we can dismiss. Now, I wouldn't worry about all of this except for the pick up and move, but this right here is going to be the happiness for the laborer, and we're going to go over that when I set it up in a personal house. Now, from here, we're going to talk about the journals. So these are tier 2 laborers, and they go from tier 2 all the way up to tier 8, and this is their XP bar. Right here, we have 3 different types of journals. We have the Novice Fisherman's Journal, we have the Generalist Trophy Journal, and we have the Novice Fisherman's Trophy Journal. Now, the difference between these is the Fisherman Journal is going to bring back products relating to a fisherman. For example, they're going to bring back different types of fish. A Novice Generalist Trophy Journal applies to all laborers. They're going to be bringing back these general type of trophies. And the Novice Fisherman's Trophy Journal, the fisherman has a chance, if their yield is above 100%, they will be bringing back a trophy of their tier for that laborer. For example, if we give the gamekeeper a Novice Gamekeeper's Trophy Journal that's filled, he'll hopefully be bringing back a tier 2 trophy. Sometimes they just won't bring back anything, and sometimes it's just a dud run. From here, we're going to talk about the different types of ways to fill the journals. So for example, if I grab, let's talk to the mercenary. So we have the mercenary journals, Novice Mercenary Journal, as well as the Trophy Journal. I'm going to buy one of these, and then I'm going to buy a random one over here. Let's buy a stone. So the Stone Cutter Journal. Let's do a regular journal and a trophy journal. And these are all tier 2. As you tier up these laborers, so as they get to tier 3, 4, 5, and up, they'll sell the higher tier journals. So these tier 3 laborers, once they are tier 3, they'll be able to give me tier 3 journals that I can buy from them. So if we press on one of the journals, we can read right here, acquired from a laborer can be filled by quarrying stone of its tier or up to 2 tiers higher, and then return to the laborers to start them on a job. So with this, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to collect from tier 2 to tier 4 nodes to get this filled, because 2 tiers higher, up to 2 tiers higher. I think the reason they do that is so that you can't farm the crap out of these journals just by going and hitting 1 tier 8 node. Right here is the amount of fame. So we have 0 out of 900 fame to fill up this Novice Stonecutter's Trophy Journal. If we look at the regular Stonecutter Journal, it's less. It costs less fame because the difference between these 2 journals is the Stonecutter will be bringing back stone. The Trophy Journal, he'll be bringing back a trophy related to his activity that he does. The Novice Mercenary Journal is acquired from a laborer, can be filled by killing NPCs of its tier or higher. Now, if we send this laborer out with a tier 2 journal, we drop it, we would have a full journal and we would drop it in here. So I can't actually drop a journal in here right now because it won't let me, because these are tier 4 full journals that I brought just to show you what they look like when they're filled. But you would drop the journal right here and then send him out, and they go out for about 22 hours. So there is one difference on all the journals on all of these. And like these guys over here, they only have these 2 types of journals because they don't have trophies. Like for the blacksmith, you're going to have to go out, and these are the crafting ones. So blacksmith, if you go craft swords, it'll fill up the journal. The Fletcher has to do with the hunter stuff. The imbuer has to do with magic, and the tinker has to do with tools. So as you do those crafting activities, those are the journals that you're going to be filling with these. And these laborers are usually a little bit more expensive, and they'll bring back refined material. So I actually have a chart right here that I'll show you guys for the types of material that each laborer brings back. So if we go down the list here, we have the gathering laborers. So the lumberjack brings back wood logs, stonecutter brings back stones, prospector brings back ores, cropper fiber, gamekeeper brings back hide, and the fisherman brings back fish. Now when it comes to the crafting laborers, the blacksmith brings back metal bars, planks, and cloth. They bring back refined materials instead of like ore, stone, and stuff that you had to still put in the refinery to use. These ones, the crafting laborers actually bring back refined materials that you can use right off the bat. The Fletcher brings back leather, metal bars, and planks. The imbuer brings back cloth, planks, and metal bars, and the tinker brings back planks. And then the only really different one is the mercenary, which is a battle laborer, and it brings back silver. So they just bring back flat silver. that is all the different types of things that the laborers bring back. I will also pull up this chart that'll show you the type of fame awarded per journal to the laborers as you give them to them. So you can see here the normal, for tier 2, the normal gathering crafting journals are the same fame as the trophy general journals. So they're both 76 fame, and then the trophy gathering and crafting journals are 180. The mercenary, I wouldn't pay attention to that one. Their XP is way higher. They level up a lot faster, but they're cheaper and they only bring back silver. But as you can see going down the list, if you want to farm up your laborers using easy methods, you would just use trophy general journals, because these trophy general journals fill up doing any activity. So if we buy one of these and we look at its description, it says here can be filled by earning fame in any way, then return to the laborer to start them on a job. So these are the ones that I use to fill up my laborers when I want to get them to tier 5 and then pick up their contracts and sell them. But these are the ones that you use to level them up easily, as they are the same fame bonus to the laborer and leveling them up as a normal crafting or gathering journal. These two right here are of the same fame, and this one is a higher yielding fame. They just take longer to fill. And right here, if you click on one of the laborers, you can actually pick them up and it becomes a laborer contract. So the estimated market value on here, 1,746. This is contracts that you can pick up, and this is how you sell the laborer when you get it to a higher tier. So if you get your laborer to maybe tier 4, tier 5, or tier 6, or even higher, you don't want to use them anymore, you can pick it up and you can go and list it on the market and sell it. As well as on any of the guild halls and houses, you can actually put down tier 2 laborers right from the house on this board on the outside. So we can hire one and we can come in here and we can put him down anywhere that we want. Now from here, we're gonna go and set up one of the personal houses. So I do have this guild island set up. Well, I have this guild hall clear for you guys to show you those laborers, but this is going to be a tier 5 personal house that I have ready to go to place some laborers, and we are going to put gamekeeper laborers down. So I'm just using these as an example. So we're going to place 3 in here, and I'm going to show you guys how to get them to optimal happiness so that they can have the best yield possible. Okay, the gamekeepers are down. They're going to take 30 minutes to get ready. Now, if we manage them, their happiness is 0. And I brought some furniture with us. I'm going to trash these right now because I don't want to have them cluttering my inventory. I have tier 2 beds and I have a novice table. So we're going to place all of the beds. So if we place one of the beds, we can check their happiness. And right now they're technically sharing that bed, so they're not going to be very happy about that. So they're 33. If we place all 3 beds, one for each, they'll have full happiness for that. And then when they get to tier 3, so you could start out using novice beds, but as soon as you give them any journal and come back, they're going to get to tier 3 and you're going to have to upgrade all your furniture. So I usually just buy tier 5 furniture or whatever tier furniture I'm going to need for what level I want my laborer to be at. For example, if I take my laborers to tier 5, I'll put tier 5 furniture in the house right off the bat, just so I never have to touch it again and I can just leave it like that. But there's nothing wrong with starting out with these. So we're going to place the table as well, and then we can check both of their happiness on there. So 100 out of 100, and now we have 0 out of 100. So this is the thing with the houses, is we have to place down these journals. So we have a tier 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we have all 4 of these down, and one thing to note when it comes to these trophies is you're going to want one of each tier. I have a tier 5 trophy right here, but if I place 2 of those, these laborers are only going to benefit in happiness from one of the trophies. So you don't want to stack up, double up these trophies. You want a tier 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. all the way up. We have a tier 5 house, so the only highest we can place is tier 5 trophies. Now we're going to place down the gamekeeper trophies, the one that I have specifically for the gamekeeper laborers. So I'm going to place them in this corner right here, kind of facing towards the inside of the house to make it look kind of nice, I guess. Now we can see their happiness from here. So they're at 40 now. So each one of their special trophies is giving them 10 each. And they benefit from happiness from all their trophies, even though they are a tier 2 laborer. The tier 4, 5, 6, 7 trophies. If your house is a tier 8 and you put tier 2 laborers down and you put all of the tier 2 through tier 8 trophies, you can get their happiness all the way up. Just right now we have it at 60 out of 100. And right now it's going to take time to settle their happiness. So it's going to take 15 hours and 56 minutes. If I try to give them a tier 2 journal right now, their yield is going to be like, I think it's like roughly 65%. Like it's not good. You want to wait till they settle inside their 260 happiness so they can have increased yield. So 2 other things that I want to add is there's one special thing about the fishing laborer. For example, I have here an Elder's Fisherman journal that's partially filled because I did fish for 1 fish. We have 21 fame in this journal. I'm fishing off of the island. And the difference with fishing is you can get different tier fish as you're fishing. So we're going to grab 1 fish. I'm going to show you guys that it doesn't matter what you fish. You can fill any of the fisherman journals. So So we got 31 fame, and that's going to be inside this journal now. So we have 42 inside of here. The thing is that, and that math is a little off, it filled up part of it went into this journal. So we can fill tier 8 journals doing any type of fishing activities. You can go fish in a blue zone, in a yellow zone. You can go fish in a tier 8 black zone. It doesn't matter. Any fish XP is going to help fill up that journal. The last thing that we want to talk about when it comes to the laborers before we get onto the market stuff is if you have a tier 5 laborer and you send them out with a tier 4 journal and send them out, he'll have 150% yield. So it's actually more efficient at times to send your tier 5 laborers out with a tier 4 journal as opposed to sending them out with a tier 5 journal if you're trying to get returns of any resources. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to go to the market and I'm going to show you guys the different tabs that you can do to find stuff for your laborers. So we're going to go right into the market here. I am in Fort Sterling and we're going to go right into the market. So I'm going to clear this because I was buying a fishing rod. We're going to go into the categories and you can filter for furniture and beds. And these are going to be the type of beds that your laborers are going to be using. And you can filter through different tiers of beds that you want all the way up to tier 8. These are a little bit more pricey. As well as you can go and filter for the tables that you need for your laborers. The other thing that we need is trophies. So if we go down to trophies, we have the actual trophies and then we have a filter to pick what types of trophies that we need. So we have like wood, different types of wood trophies. We could pick their tier all the way tier 2 to whatever tier our house is that we want to push them up, as well as our guild hall. And then we have the actual laborers. So we have laborers that you can buy. There's contracts you can buy. If you don't want to level up your labor yourself and you have some silver to spare, for example, right here, we could buy a stone cutter at tier 5. We could probably buy a tier 8 stone cutter for 105,000 silver. Right out the gate, we could have an elder stone cutter that we can give journals to if you don't want to wait. But if you are just starting out with your laborers, I recommend starting them at tier 2 and leveling them up. And then the last one we have is products. So if you go to the product tab and you go to journals, this is where you can filter to buy journals if you don't want to fill them yourself. Right here, we could press like tier 5 and then I can put like fishing. So now we have regular journals that are empty. And I usually just scroll down until I find full journals. So we have expert fisherman's journals. And then we have expert fisherman's trophy journals right here. That is all you're going to need to know to getting started with laborers here in Albion Online. There are a lot of different advanced methods that you can do with laborers on returns and different silver profit, as well as there's different ways to farm them for passive income like I have in some of my other videos. But the whole point of this video was just to be a beginner starter guide to introduce you to the laborers, what they're about, how to level them up, and how to get the journals filled. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see all of you in the next video. And I will see all of you in Albion Online.